Initially, through a third party, I was told the house had things moving in the kitchen, doors opening and closing, and strange noises heard throughout the night. I believed, after investigating, I would be able to explain to the residents that most, if not all, they were experiencing was normal. Wind, pipes, the house settling. When I did the first interview and walkthrough, I realized what I was told was wrong, and the residents were experiencing more. Lipstick-rimmed glasses mysteriously left in the kitchen, bed shaking, photos of ghostly images on them, and what was described as an angry woman terrifying a little girl. Weeks later, through other interviews, I would learn that the 107-year-old house had a 60-year history of varying activity. This is the results of the first day of my investigation. Most of what I caught could easily be explained away by a skeptic. Some strange things did occur. One that was not caught on tape was a gray mist I personally saw that appeared to be watching me from the kitchen. I wouldn't find out that this was a normal occurrence in the house till an interview a month later. We also received responses while using a spirit box in a room that EVPs were recorded by the family, but no other paranormal phenomena had occurred. The spirit box is simply a radio that changes frequencies at a high rate. During the investigation, I would experiment with different settings. What I caught could be radio interference, but after painstakingly going over the audio multiple times, what are present are sounds and vocations, sometimes answering us, that I cannot explain. The spirit of an angry woman that was seen by a little girl in the front bedroom of the house. I first thought that it was from an overactive imagination, but I was wrong. This first night, I would try to rationalize things that had happened. It would be the second day of the investigation a month later that I would realize after searching for years, ghosts are real. I started the investigation by setting up a full spectrum camera and a voice recorder in the room that had an angry woman appearing to a little girl. After setting up the camera, we moved to the room that had the bed shaking because that had only happened a few weeks prior. In that room, we had put a video camera, a voice recorder, and a millimeter. The millimeter detects EMFs. It also has a REM pod in it. The EMF meter detects electromagnetic frequencies. It is believed that the presence of a spirit can cause spikes in EMF. The REM pod would produce its own electrical field that would produce a light and audible warning if anything came into the field. I would start the investigation in that room where I checked the EMF levels in the room and found everything to be normal. We would then do an EVP session in which we didn't get any responses. And then we would wind up leaving the room with me leaving the meter on the bed to see if we could capture anything. When we left the room, we had thought we had left the IR light on, but the IR light had stopped functioning, and basically we just had a video of darkness, but the meter kept on going off while we weren't in the room. Mike, just leave the camera on my GoPro, so just watch them. You got that?
That was me.
That was Mike moving. That's on? All right, we're leaving. We'll be back in a few minutes. Can I just turn off the light? Shut the door? Yeah. Of course, the IR light didn't work, which made the video completely useless. But with the meter going off, it happened 3 times in about a half hour. While going over the footage to try to figure out what was going on, I realized that the people that I was investigating with had the AC on in the room, and it had gone down to around 65 degrees. The meter picks up temperature changes, and whenever there's a 5-degree change, the sensor goes off. So basically, it was just the room heating up because it was 91 degrees outside. After setting up the cameras in the angry woman room and the room with the shaky bed, we had investigated the basement. All that footage is lost, and this would be something that happened during the investigation of this house. Cameras would just turn off on their own. Files would get corrupted. Nothing happened in the basement that I could recall, but it was just lost. After the basement, we had gone up to the angry woman room and we'd start investigating. I would place the millimeter and the voice recorder in the closet there, because it was told to me that the angry woman would move from the corner of the room and actually go into the closet. It wouldn't be till later that I would find out that a medium was in the house between my two investigations and would say that there was a large cane in the corner of the closet, which I didn't notice at the time. The medium had said that the cane was actually owned by one of the original owners of the house and that she wasn't happy and actually angry with people in the house. And also the full spectrum camera I had placed in the room, which usually works for over 2 hours, died after 18 minutes. The first time investigating this room, I caught possibly a EVP coming from the closet. The next time I would investigate this room, I would have something that happened to me that actually terrified me. And it almost made me quit doing paranormal investigation. Anybody want to talk? Anybody want to try to scare us? Is there a woman in the room? Is there anybody in the closet? I'm zipping up the case. Plenty in here. Go by that, I guess it's orange screen. If you go by there, I'll be able to see that you're here. Nobody, huh? This is the one EVP that we caught in the room. It's very low. I'm going to play it 2 more times and then I'm going to try to amplify it and then I'll tell you what I think it says. The only problem is once I tell you what I think it says, that's what you're probably going to hear after that. Nobody, huh? Nobody, huh? Nobody, huh? Nobody, huh? Nobody, huh? Not realizing I had gotten a response, I had everybody settled down to stop the noise from us moving around, and I did an EVP session for a few more minutes, and I actually used a thermal image or a FLIR camera that I have that attaches to my cell phone, and we didn't get any more activity in the room after that. Thermal imager up. It is 9:38. Does anybody want to appear in the corner right between Mike? Somebody, come on. You'd appear to a little girl. You don't want to appear to one of us? Anybody say anything? Do anything? After investigating the angry woman room, we went back downstairs and went to the kitchen. While I was walking into the kitchen, I actually saw something. It was a gray mist that appeared to peer around the door and stare at me and then vanish. I want to find out till over a month later that actually this was a normal occurrence in the house, which led us to investigate the kitchen. The next clip is just my reaction after seeing the gray mist. I ain't catching the thing on camera, so it's just a personal experience to me at this point. Alright, I just saw something moving here. I'm going to put a
lot of times in here we use
Casey's.
There'd be nobody upstairs, but you would hear footsteps upstairs in the room above us. Try to turn the
Got a
stereo
weird
off.
feel, like a weird feeling in here now.
Trying to get the stereo off. There you go.
Sit, don't walk around too much. Reporters.
Hold on, I just put it up. Alright, I just saw something move in here and you thought you heard footsteps, right?
Yes.
Okay. The resident had stated that he had heard footsteps above us, and that was something that would go on for both days that we were investigating. We'd always hear footsteps walking around above us. I don't believe in the first day, but in the second day we were there, the cameras picked up audio of the doors opening and closing a lot. On the second day video, if I actually had shown every incident of that happening, the video would probably be about 3 hours long. We investigated the kitchen for a little while, and while Mike was investigating, I'd go upstairs to the attic where we heard a noise during the walkthrough, which wound up being Mike. But I would go up there by myself and try to get a reaction, which actually I did. Alright, it looked like a mess. Alright, I'm up in the crawl space by myself. When we were up here, we thought we heard something. So, I don't know, it's just very dark up here. And it's weird, I can't hear anything else in the rest of the house. But you can hear the cars outside. There's a car here. Is there anybody here? I was downstairs, we were talking in the dining room, and I thought I saw something run. It looked like something moved out of the, in the kitchen from a doorway and then darted back in, but it was like a light gray color. I don't know, that could have been a reflection from a car maybe? I'm not sure. But I'm up here, it's 89 degrees. If anybody wants to go near this, the light right there, they can, it'll make a noise. We think that we heard something before. Was that you? Is that Lenny? Lenny, can you say something? Can you move something? Touch me? You go by the meter, it'll go off. Let me flip this back around. Staying steady. Oh. Hello? Was that somebody or was that the camera? Can somebody... Can you do that again? Or was it me moving? Is there somebody here? Do that again. We'll talk. Talk into the blinking light right there. It's not going off. Is it the camera that's making it go off? Can you touch it again? Is there somebody here? It's getting a lot hotter. And he says how dark it is up here. Anybody wants to know? I'm just almost in complete darkness up here. I'm going to turn on the light. Okay. Alright, thank you. Wow, let's see. I was only up here for 10 minutes, but it's way too hot up here. This is the last chance. I'm going, so if you want to go by this meter that I have the light on, now's the chance. Now's your time. Come near it. Hit it. Touch it. Touch me. Close the door. Run past the door. Hello. Are you there? Can you do that again? I ain't say anything. Let me click on the recorder. That would be the last time that the meter went off in the attic. I don't know if it was just a malfunction, me moving, or something trying to communicate with me. Now we would go to a room where they only had gotten EVPs before and no other activity. In this room, I could definitely say that there were things trying to communicate with us in the house. The resident Anthony wanted us to do a spirit box session in the middle bedroom. They had previously gotten EVPs in that room, but there were no other paranormal activity going on. The spirit box is basically a radio that sweeps through frequencies at various speeds. During this session, I would change the speeds, not knowing that I was actually getting responses. After going over the footage and the audio, I realized that we had gotten many responses. I've shown it to other people, and other people have heard different voices that I didn't hear. Some people think it's just radio noise. Other people just say it's nothing. After going over the audio and the video numerous times, the things that I point out, I believe, are actually responses.
There's a lot of kids.
I'm going to try this, all right?
We had activity in this room in the past?
When we did EVP, we got.
We got stuff in this room.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we were in here doing it.
again, this could be some good closure. Maybe whoever was here moved on, or gonna be in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
All right, spirit box session, 10:43.
Lights out.
You want to talk? You want to do it?
Yeah. Uncle Lenny, are you here? If you're in the room, go to the bed and go to the meter. Uncle Lenny, just show me that you're here.
Females, it's like the same voice though.
It's getting lower again like before. That was me creaking, the floor's creaking a lot. Uncle Lenny, you're in here? I know we're moving, it's sad to everybody, we don't want to go, but show me one last time in this house. Show me that you're here, we've done this before. Lenny, you proud of your boys?
He's killing it.
Can you go to the meter and show us that you're here? Go near it. Make it beep. Please, for me. One last shot.
Sounds like you just said sure.
Yeah.
Sounds like two people are having a conversation.
Lenny, go by the meter on the bed. See if you can make the lights change on it.
Man, you can go near the meter, nothing sets it off. It's pretty impressive. I mean, you gotta get real close to it to set it off, so. Come on, Lenny, show us what's.
Is there anybody else here? Is there a woman here? Is there anybody that lived in the house here? to try to talk. I don't know, there might be just some difference. I try to speak as loud and clear as you possibly can into that. Or go by that meter and try to set off the lights. Is there anybody? Try to talk through this. I'm recording it, so if you say something, I'll go over it and I'll be able to hear it hopefully later. No, the EMF just spiked. I don't know if I got that on camera. Alright, if anybody's there, do that again. The EMF I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but it just went out like up a lot. I don't know if it was me touching the bed. At the time, we didn't know that we had gotten as many responses as we had in that room. The session basically ended when the millimeter started going off and there was a spike in EMFs. It went from a 0.5 to almost a 2.0. I would spend the next few minutes trying to see if I could get the spirits to raise the EMF back up or even go by the millimeter, but it never happened. A few minutes later, the camera would just shut off, and that would basically just end our session in that room. After that room, we decided to end the night. It was getting late, and it was 90 degrees in the building. While we were packing up, I decided to set up a camera to watch us pack up, because it just seemed, especially in this house, that when cameras weren't rolling or there was no audio on, that things would happen, and I'm glad I did. I'm recording, by the way, because I just want to, so I can say I did it.
What?
I'm recording out this way, just for now. I'm packing up. You never know.
Good investigation.
I wish the cameras weren't all fucked up.
Your equipment always has a little bit of an issue.
You wanna go out?
Get this
Right,
right.
give me that.
The whole thing's yours?
Yes.
What other equipment would you have liked to have?
No cameras.
That's the only that's the thing.
Yeah. So what about cameras everywhere?
Just let it roll
Yeah.
for hours. That's what you gotta do, and then watch it all.
Yeah.
It's just such a big area.
Well, that's why you do it. Cameras. Usually what I would do,
Flashing up
I would set, for a little while, I would like do the stuff that we were doing, then I would just set cameras up and leave them in there for a little while, just to see what happens.
You know what I'm thinking? If you guys have seen Check.
Bro, you heard that, right?
What the
You
fuck?
heard that, right?
Dude, come on, bro.
Something just happened to me.
Well, I have the camera on.
What camera? You're gonna see me jump?
Yeah,
Come
what
on!
happened?
Why you do that for?
What happened?
I don't
It
know.
happened over here. I heard it.
I don't know. Come on.
Get the camera.
No, there's no camera. Don't put the light on.
Hold on!
It's happening here before. It's the shit. Shut up.
But what I was gonna say was, which you probably saw before. I was thinking the shadow you see would be like. You know what I'm saying, Joss?
What?
I gotta debunk what you said before because you have all this window here.
Uh-huh.
So it could be lights from outside that make you see things.
Yeah, no, I looked. It wasn't.
Okay.
No.
Well, you heard some noise in here. We didn't hear a noise the whole
It sounded like towards the hole.
Was that jingling noise that you
No,
heard?
it was a
It was like a click. Like
door.
it was like a.
Alright, hold on.
I mean, listen, listen, it could be the house settling.
And I'm still recording. This is why I keep recording because this is when shit happens when you're not recording. This would end the first night investigation. We would be invited back a second night, and before that, I would actually interview another family member who gave me more of the story that was going on in the house. The stuff that happened in this night is nothing compared to what happened to the second night. This first night, we would have a family member present. On the second night, it would just be me and my team, and I don't think the ghosts were happy with us that night.